If you're a real estate agent and you just don't have the confidence to go out there and start building the business that you desire the most, maybe you even fight with imposter syndrome, I'm going to show you a few different steps, really simple steps in this video that I think will really, really help you to go out there and build the business that I think that you desire the most. So let's jump right into this thing. Number one is to do what I call daily property previews. So anytime I either coach an agent who's struggling with confidence or struggling to get going, I always have them go out there and put their finger on the pulse of the actual market. And so what I mean by daily property previews is this. All right, so let me show you my screen. I'm going to actually log into my MLS. Your MLS may look a little different, but nonetheless, it will be close enough. So here's what I mean. If you go into your MLS, you can pull up any property inside of the MLS. We'll read this later. And you could pull up any active listing. You probably already know this, but let me just kind of give you an example. And we'll go Rochester. We'll say, just put in your price point that is the average in your market. And you can look at any new listing. I like to sort these by the newest and say, okay, I'm actually going to pull up one of these properties and I'm going to go and preview this thing. I'm going to go walk through this property and I'm going to learn. I'm going to learn the inventory. I'm going to learn what's on the market. And so I'm going to go here, pull up showing time, and I can simply schedule a single showing. Let me go here, schedule a single showing, pick on a day and time that works. And I'm just going to set up what we call an agent preview. And so not only am I going to set up an agent preview, but the other thing I'm going to do in this process, all right, is something else. Let me show you this. And by the way, I'm not sure if this is for you or not. You can decide. But if you're a real estate agent, you're watching this video and you're not earning at least $100,000 per year, you feel like you're overworked, you're underpaid, maybe even underappreciated, perhaps it's time to talk. If you're serious about growing your real estate sales business and you're open to having a conversation to determine if working with me as your coach makes sense or not, then click the link in the description beneath this video or simply go to reverseselling.com to book a call. I think this will make a lot of sense for you. And this is one of the things I always bring up to and give my coaching clients, which is what I call a property scorecard. So if you're going to do this every single day, let's call it 5 days a week, you're going to preview between 15 and 20 properties per month. The thing that makes this exercise so powerful is if you bring a property scorecard like this that I'm showing on screen, and you actually go and score every single property. So what I mean by score is this. So you're going to, in the journey of actually becoming a market authority to actually build some confidence, you're going to learn the market. So in here, you're going to score each property that you preview. So you're going to base this on year built, and here's the scoring system for year built. You're going to score it on its condition, its location, its price, and you're going to give this property a score. And then what you're going to do is you're going to say, okay, what is the list price? And then what is the CMA price? You're going to go back to your office and you're actually going to do a CMA to come up with your own value to say, okay, what is the price that I believe this thing will sell for? And then when it actually sells, you can document that and say, okay, was I on? Was I off? And you're going to start to really learn the market. You're going to figure out, okay, how long did this thing take to sell? What was its list to sold price ratio? And again, what was the sale score? So if you look at the scoring, it kind of gives you a saleable score. And you're going to do that for every single property that you go out there and preview. And it won't be long until you are in a really, really good place to say, okay, I'm really starting to get this thing down. I start to really understand the market. I understand the inventory. I've got my pulse on the market. And that's the first step into growing into what I think you want to become, which is a market authority, someone who actually has conviction and confidence to understand what's going on in the market. Step 2 is then to set yourself up to do what I call weekly market audits. So once a week, what you're going to want to do is go inside of, here, I'll do it with you. You can go inside of your MLS, all right, and I'll show this to you. And you're going to set yourself up to receive an email once per week, and I'll do this with you. I'll set it up with you to review active listings. You want the expired listings for the last 7 days. You want the pendings for the last 7 days. You want the solds for the past 7 days. You want this every week. And you want any withdrawals for the last 7 weeks, or 7 days rather. And what you're going to see in here is we want residential, we want sale. You can pick, whatever market you're in, and the price point that you want. So you could say, okay, I want everything from, and I'm just making this up. Your market's going to be different than mine. And what you're going to get is a report once per week. You're going to set yourself up to receive an email once per week, and you're going to get a list of these, and you're going to study to say, okay, let me see everything that's come on the market this past week. And you're going to study the actives. You're going to study the properties that came off the market. And you're going to pull these up, and you're going to start to say to yourself, okay, well, why did this expire? How long was it on the market? What was the price point, et cetera, et cetera. You're going to look at the property's condition. You're going to look at different character traits of the property and say, okay, well, I kind of get why this thing expired. And you learn what the buyers want, what the buyers don't want. You're going to start to look at the pendings to see, well, what do buyers actually want? And then you're going to look at the solds to say, okay, I know what's active on the market. I know what buyers don't want based on the expireds. And then I know what buyers do want based on the pendings. And then I'm going to study the solds every week and figure out what buyers are willing to pay. So far, what we have is a world where you've created for yourself where you have your finger on the pulse of the market, the active inventory, because you're going out there every single day and actually walking through the real homes that are actually selling. You get to see, okay, I know the type of condition properties that are at this price in this area. I've walked through them all. That's number one. Then number two, every single week, I study what's going on in the market. I know most of the active inventory because I'm scoring most of them with my property scorecard. And so I'm scoring them, and I know what buyers are not willing to pay for, what buyers don't want, because I'm studying all the properties that have come into the market and expired and failed to sell. And I'm studying what buyers do want, because I'm looking at all the pendings, and I know what buyers are willing to pay based on the sold activity. So far, we're doing steps 1 and step 2, and we're starting to build up that, we're starting to build our confidence. Now, step 3, once we do that daily, we talked about what we need to be doing weekly. Now let's talk about what we need to do monthly. So every month we want to do a monthly market analysis. So inside of your MLS or your database, you should be able to pull a report like this on screen that should show exactly what's going on in your market for the current month as it relates, as it compared to this month last year. And it should give you the percent change. So you should be able to look at the new listings and how many new listings came in the marketplace this month compared to this month last year. And then you can look at the percentage change. Same thing with pendings, closed, days on market. Are things selling faster or slower? What is the average sales price? Are prices going up or are they going down? What is the the average list to sold price ratio? Is that going up or is that going down? Well, what does the inventory look like? What does the months of supply look like? This will help you, again, to build confidence, but really to become a market authority. Not someone who just fakes it, not someone who just calls themselves an expert, but somebody who is a real expert. Okay, you've walked through the properties, you're studying the inventory, you're studying the market, you study exactly what's going on. You know how the market's trending and why, because it's one thing just to memorize these numbers every single month, but then it's another to say, okay, well, why is this happening? Why in my market is it taking longer to sell? Why in my market are home prices going up, where in some markets they're going down? And you be able to tell the story. So that's number 3. Number 4, which is something that I find it very, very, very rare that agents do, which is to rehearse and record your listing presentation weekly. Okay, so what do I mean by this? What I'm suggesting, what it is that I'm recommending to build your confidence is to actually grab somebody from your office. It could be another agent, it could be an admin, it could be your broker. Heck, it could be a friend that doesn't even work in real estate. But somewhere, it could be at your house, it could be at the office, it could be at a title company, it could be anywhere. You want to set up a tripod, put a camera on that tripod, and you actually want to record you delivering your listing presentation at least once per week. I used to do this every single day when I first started. But a minimum is to do this weekly. And then you want to go back and review the game film. If you're sitting here watching this video and you're asking yourself, okay, I'm not where I want to be. I'm not getting the clients that I want. I keep losing out to other agents. I'm not getting any listings. I feel like I'm on a hamster wheel. Well, go back and watch the game film and ask yourself, would you list your house with you? You see, if you watch your game film of you delivering your listing presentation and you're cringing, imagine what the prospect's feeling. And I say that with a lot of hopefully love and respect to say, if you don't like it, you have the choice to do something about it. And that's why I recommend, these are 4 very, very simple steps that are up to you to decide on. It's really just a decision as to whether or not you're going to execute on this. Because I think that, the difference between someone with a growth mindset versus a fixed mindset is the person with the growth mindset says, okay, I'm not where I want to be yet, but I have the power to change it. And then the person with the fixed mindset just becomes a victim. I'm not where I want to be, and there's nothing I can do about it. And so my question for you is, you now have these 4 steps laid out. What are you going to do about it?